The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for the installation of electrical equipment to ensure safety and proper functioning. When dealing with exterior-mounted service disconnects, it's crucial to adhere to the NEC requirements for mounting height. While the NEC doesn't specify an exact, universal mounting height for service disconnects, it does provide general requirements that impact the placement of such equipment. The absence of a precise height mandate allows for flexibility based on site-specific conditions, but it necessitates careful consideration of accessibility, environmental factors, and potential hazards. Several sections of the NEC are relevant when determining the appropriate mounting height for an exterior service disconnect. It's important to consult the specific edition of the NEC that is enforced in your jurisdiction, as code requirements can change with each new edition. The section concerning working clearances around electrical equipment is essential. This section mandates sufficient space around electrical equipment to allow for safe operation and maintenance. The working space includes a minimum depth, width, and height. While this section doesn't dictate the mounting height directly, the required headroom within the working space influences how high the disconnect can be mounted. Ensure that personnel can comfortably access and operate the disconnect without obstruction. The section addressing accessibility of electrical equipment is also applicable. This section requires that electrical equipment be readily accessible to qualified personnel. Readily accessible generally means capable of being reached quickly for operation, renewal, or inspections, without requiring those to whom ready access is requisite to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders, and so forth. Mounting the service disconnect too high would violate this requirement, as it would necessitate the use of a ladder or other means to reach it. Furthermore, the NEC addresses environmental factors that can influence the placement of electrical equipment. For example, in areas prone to flooding, the NEC requires that electrical equipment be located above the base flood elevation. This may necessitate mounting the service disconnect higher than it would otherwise be. Similarly, in areas subject to snow accumulation, the disconnect should be mounted high enough to prevent it from being buried in snow, which would impede access and could damage the equipment. The type of enclosure used for the service disconnect also plays a role in determining the appropriate mounting height. Enclosures are rated for different environmental conditions such as rain, snow, and ice. The NEC specifies the types of enclosures that are suitable for different locations. When mounting an exterior service disconnect, it's essential to use an enclosure that is rated for the specific environmental conditions in that location. The mounting height should also be chosen to protect the enclosure from physical damage. For example, in areas where the disconnect could be struck by vehicles, it should be mounted high enough to prevent damage. In addition to the NEC requirements, local codes and regulations may also apply. It's important to check with the local electrical inspector to determine if there are any specific requirements for mounting heights of exterior service disconnects in your area. Local codes may be more stringent than the NEC requirements, so it's essential to comply with both. When determining the appropriate mounting height for an exterior service disconnect, it's helpful to consider the following factors. Firstly, accessibility. Ensure that the disconnect is readily accessible to qualified personnel for operation, maintenance, and inspection. Secondly, working clearances. Provide sufficient working space around the disconnect, including adequate headroom. Thirdly, environmental conditions. Protect the disconnect from flooding, snow accumulation, and other environmental hazards. Fourthly, enclosure rating. Use an enclosure that is rated for the specific environmental conditions in the location. Fifthly, physical damage. Protect the disconnect from physical damage, such as being struck by vehicles. Sixthly, local codes. Comply with all applicable local codes and regulations. To further illustrate the considerations involved, let's examine some hypothetical scenarios. Firstly, in a residential setting, the service disconnect might be mounted on the exterior wall of the house, typically between 4 feet and 6 feet above grade. This height provides easy access for homeowners and electrical contractors, while also protecting the disconnect from flooding and snow accumulation. Secondly, in a commercial setting, the service disconnect might be mounted on a pole or pedestal, or on the exterior wall of the building. The mounting height would depend on the specific site conditions, such as the presence of vehicular traffic and the potential for flooding. Thirdly, in an industrial setting, the service disconnect might be mounted in a switchgear room or on the exterior wall of the building. The mounting height would be determined by the working clearances required around the switchgear and the potential for environmental hazards. It's important to note that the NEC is not a design manual. It provides minimum safety requirements, but it's up to the designer or installer to determine the best way to meet those requirements in a specific situation. When in doubt, it's always best to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or contractor. They can assess the specific site conditions and recommend an appropriate mounting height for the exterior service disconnect. In addition to the general requirements discussed above, the NEC also includes specific requirements for certain types of service disconnects. For example, the NEC specifies the mounting height for emergency disconnects, which are required in some buildings to allow firefighters to quickly disconnect power in the event of a fire. These disconnects must be readily accessible and clearly labeled. The NEC also includes requirements for the location of service disconnects in relation to other equipment, such as gas meters and water pipes. These requirements are intended to prevent accidental contact between electrical equipment and other utilities, which could create a safety hazard. When installing an exterior service disconnect, it's important to follow all of the applicable NEC requirements, as well as any local codes and regulations. Failure to comply with these requirements could result in fines, delays in project completion, and, most importantly, safety hazards. The proper installation of electrical equipment is essential for protecting people and property from electrical hazards. By following the NEC guidelines for mounting heights of exterior service disconnects, you can help ensure that electrical systems are safe and reliable. It is advisable to review the definition of service disconnect in Article 100 of the NEC. This definition clarifies the function and purpose of the service disconnect, which is the main disconnecting means for the entire electrical service. Understanding this definition is crucial for properly applying the NEC requirements related to service disconnects. Consider the use of weatherproof or rain-tight enclosures for exterior service disconnects. The NEC requires that enclosures installed in wet locations be suitable for the environment. Weatherproof and rain-tight enclosures are designed to protect electrical equipment from rain, snow, and ice. Using the appropriate type of enclosure is essential for preventing corrosion and other damage to the service disconnect. Also, think about the labeling requirements for service disconnects. The NEC requires that service disconnects be clearly labeled to indicate their purpose. This is important for ensuring that qualified personnel can quickly and easily identify the correct disconnect in an emergency. The label should be durable and legible, and it should be permanently attached to the disconnect enclosure. Grounding and bonding requirements for service disconnects should also be considered. The NEC requires that service disconnects be properly grounded and bonded to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source. This helps to protect people from electric shock and to prevent damage to equipment. The grounding and bonding system should be installed in accordance with the NEC requirements. Remember to take into account the potential for vandalism or tampering when determining the mounting height for an exterior service disconnect. If the disconnect is located in an area where it could be easily vandalized or tampered with, it may be necessary to mount it higher or to provide additional security measures. The goal is to prevent unauthorized access to the disconnect and to protect it from damage. Finally, consider the potential for future expansion or modification of the electrical system when determining the location of the service disconnect. It may be necessary to provide additional space around the disconnect to accommodate future equipment. This can help to avoid costly modifications later on. Proper planning is essential for ensuring that the electrical system can meet the needs of the building over time.